The next thing we're going to do is again go back to our storyboard. And we just had a look at our linked filters, and now we're going to explore the use of Geopacks. Now, if you're not familiar with what Geopacks are, basically they're data that you can load or your administrator can load into the system that contains geographical information. So a lot of the time businesses may not have mapping data that they need to plot out all of their sales or whatever their business data is on a geographical map. So what we've done is we've collated a whole lot of geographical data and packed it up, and administrators can load this into the system. So you as a content writer then have the opportunity to use that data when you're creating reports. Now, Geopacks will have what we call points and polygons, and you'll see they actually have these little pins here. So that's some of our geographical information, and the yellow one is the mapping data. On top of that, we actually have label data, which describes the geographical data. So in this case, countries, and we have country names. On top of that, some packs actually have demographic information, and there'll be things like population and mean average household income and things like that. And they're used to provide context when you're creating maps. So if we have a look at creating a report, you'll actually see that this data has a Geopack. So you can tell it's a different icon here. And if we open that up, we actually get a folder full of information. So I'm going to drag some of those fields in, and you'll see that looks a bit weird. The population isn't giving me a lot, but I'll put the name in. And okay, now I've got my country. And then I can put my sales in as well. So I can combine my data with the pack data. Now, something we didn't look at earlier was how to hide a field. So this column looks hideous, and we probably don't want to use it when we print out this report and give it to someone or email it or whatever we're going to do with it. So on the format menu here, I'm just going to hide the field. And what that does is it keeps it in the report, but it just hides it from display. And now what I'm going to do is go to the charts, and we'll have a look at what our auto chart does. If I drag in geography, it creates a map for me. And then if I drag in my invoice amount, it adds that data to the map. So what I would do is put that in the color area, and it colors the areas of the map based on my sales. And then if I wanted to, I could see if the size does anything, and it does. It changes these to bubbles. But I'll just get rid of that for now. And what I would probably do is brighten up this color. So I might do something like this, where we would start with that and work our way, or we might even go brighter. Okay. And so now you can see we've got these little dots here, and they're all coloured based on our values. So Geopacks, again, are something that's very easy for you to use if you're the content creator. It's something that really an administrator has to concentrate on adding to the system for you, much like with Drill Down and Drill Anywhere, as well as some of the other options and things that we've looked at today, like orgref codes. So using them is very easy. It's just adding them into the system, and you don't really have to worry about that. So the next section that we're going to have a quick look at is creating storyboards. And just a reminder that the storyboard is what we've been exploring our content in today. So if I just navigate across, the initial setup is very easy for Storyboard. Basically, it requires you to define the title of the storyboard, the subtitle and description, as well as what we call a theme. And a theme is the way the storyboard is styled, so the colouring, the fonts and the placement. So it's kind of like a little preset. Once you've created your storyboard initially, you'll have the opportunity to add in new slides. And there's a range of different slide types. So the best analogy we've been thinking of for a storyboard and the slide types is much like a book. So if you think of a book, the book has a cover. And if you think of a storyboard, the storyboard has a title slide. So that's the cover of the storyboard. It basically has the name and description of the storyboard as well as a background image, and it's quite bold. Next, in a book, you may or may not have a table of contents, and the same with the storyboard. So you can include a table of contents if you like, and Yellowfin will automatically fill that out for you, so it'll generate the list of slides and things for you. But you don't have to have it if you don't want. Next, in a book, we have chapters, and that's what sections are in a storyboard. So within a storyboard, you'll have the title slide, then you'll always have a section slide. And what this does is says what the colour of the following slides will be styled as in accordance with the theme. And it'll also work as a little sort of subheading slide, so it gives you a little mini title. Then within the section you have content slides, and these have either text only, like we're looking at the moment, or rich content, which allows images and other content. Next we have image slides, which are an entire slide that allows you to display one full image as the full size of the slide. You can have text over the top if you want. Then we have quote slides that make bold statements, so they allow you to just put in a quote for effect, and it will take up the majority of the slide as well. And lastly, we have associated content, which is kind of like a little footnote slide, and it allows you to access that at the bottom. So that's the end of that. So what we'll do is we'll create a quick storyboard and just have a look at a couple of those things. So if we click create, we're just going to go to storyboard this time, and we'll give this a name. And we'll give it a description. Now the title and subtitle will display on the cover or the title slide, but the description is just used on the browse page, so it's not actually seen on a slide anywhere. Then what we're going to do is pick a theme. Now you've seen one of these themes, so we'll just pick something different. And you'll see that we've automatically got backgrounds and we've got font sizes and things, so we don't have to worry about any of that when we build. The next thing we're going to do is add a new slide, so I'm going to click on slide and select new. And what I'm going to do is add a table of contents, and you can see it started filling in already. So next I'm going to add a section. I'm going to call this marketing. And I'll pick a colour, and there's my section slide. And now I'm going to add some content, so I'll pick one of these content slides, and I'm going to marketing stats for April. Okay, so there's my heading, and now I have two boxes on the slide. I have a rich content panel and a text panel. So I can type directly into my text panel. I can resize it if I want to. I can also reposition it. So if I just drag it around, it'll place that in a different spot on the slide and replace the rich one accordingly. Now in this rich content area, I can add a report, an image, or a video. I'm going to add a report, and I'm going to look for Twitter, my Twitter report, and we'll have a look at that here. So you can see I've added my report onto my slide. Okay. And from here I can add new slides. So what I might do is add another section, pick a different color, and so on. So I just continue building my storyboard out until I'm ready to complete, and then I can present it. So I'll just save that and put it in a particular folder and activate. So if I leave my storyboard now, and we'll just return to our training storyboard, that's the very basics of creating a storyboard, and really it's just a matter of putting your content in and you're done.